Welcome to the Freak Show. I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but I'm walking away from the Walking Dead television series. I must advise, if you're not caught up on The Walking Dead as of the season 8 mid-season finale, do not watch this video as it will spoil the shit out of you. Officially, I felt done with The Walking Dead at the end of season 6. Now don't get me wrong, season 6 started off strong, but was heavy with disappointment when the wolves only showed up for a couple of episodes. I'm serious. They were technically in 6 episodes of season 6, but in my opinion, that's giving them way too much credit since the head wolf, Owen, appeared in half of those episodes. The writers majorly built up the wolves in season 5 to only give us one fight that lasted 2 episodes. Then they dropped the plot entirely. I wanted more of that storyline, but before we could blink, the Savior showed up and the church fell, bringing down the walls of Alexandria and slaughtering all those extra characters that weren't necessary to the future plot. It was a pretty good mid-season finale in season 6, but it felt rushed after all the build-up in the later half of season 5 for the wolves. And no one's going to forget the fake out deaths with Glenn and Daryl, and to that, I'll give the show credit. However, we had another fake out with the season 6 finale. It was devastating, especially when the actors themselves gave interviews and said how traumatizing the season 6 finale was to them. It felt like I had been lied to in order to secure my viewership when it was completely unnecessary. Then we, as the fans, are expected to reconnect with the characters and the storyline 6 months later when season 7 opens and 2 beloved characters die. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't reconnect with those elements, and I felt completely let down that the writers resorted to gimmicks to increase the ratings. I mean, where the fuck is the story? And who is responsible for killing our beloved show? For the sake of my 2 admins, Tammy and Casey, I watched season 7 and still felt done with the show. I mean, did we really need an entire season dedicated to Negan obsessing over complete domination over Rick and his group? Really? I just can't roll with that, people. Then I felt like such a television series whore by leaving my beloved show right when it needed my viewership most. I scolded myself and promised I'd watch season 8, and even made some reaction videos. Unfortunately, when Rick and Daryl came to blows over killing the Saviors with dynamite, I knew my beloved show was over and had succumbed to terrible ploys to gain ratings. I saw fans blaming Scott Gimple, and at first I too was on the hashtag Fire Gimple train. But after reading the lawsuit filed by Robert Kirkman against AMC, I realized the problem with the show wasn't something as simple as firing Scott Gimple. Now, personally, guys, the first episode of The Walking Dead that Scott Gimple ever wrote is my favorite episode of all time. It's season 4, episode 14, titled The Grove. Now, it forced my beloved characters, Carol and Tyrese, to make a disturbing choice when Lizzie couldn't comprehend the difference between humans and walkers. Now, also in this episode, Carol confesses to Tyrese that she killed Karen, which was a very long and anticipated moment that many fans, such as myself, had been waiting for, and then we finally got a big payoff. It was a very beautiful scene about forgiveness, and it remains my all-time favorite episode of The Walking Dead. Now, yes, people, Scott Gimple wrote that episode, his first one for the Walking Dead franchise. Now, looking at the episodes that Gimple has written for the Walking Dead, I can see his influence doesn't come in until the mid-season finale, the actual season finale, and then that season finale's opening episode. I hope that made sense to you. So that shows you that AMC loves Scott Gimple and his writing if they're giving him the task of writing the 3 crucial episodes to the seasons. So your hatred against Gimple is justified. But much like Lee Harvey Oswald, Scott Gimple is just a patsy. Except the traitor isn't an unseen entity. It's the television mogul AMC. Think about it. Scott Gimple doesn't have free range to write whatever he wants. He coordinates and converges his ideas with other writers who collectively write the season so that the plot and the characters flow like a well oiled machine. Even the writers as a whole don't have free range to write whatever they want. The writing process for a television show is a little long, but long story short, too late. Writers are required to present their ideas to various head people at AMC, and they must be cleared by the network before they can actually develop the season. Now, much like publishers and literary agents, AMC has the power to make the writers change any aspect of the show and to kill off characters. Now, based on when Scott Gimple writes the episodes, added to the fact that AMC calls the shots on what happens on the show, I've decided that the fault on the show's decline isn't necessarily the fault of Gimple himself, but the fault lies on the shoulders of AMC. They are the ones suffocating our wonderful show to ensure it stays the #1 show on television. Unfortunately, they don't realize that their decisions are screwing the show, and if they listened to their fans, they'd go back to the drawing board and spend their time and energy on the characters and their development. And for the love of Kirkman, stop dramatizing Rick and Daryl's bromance. Seriously, that's taking things way too far and where I personally draw the line in the sand on my standards of good television. And seriously, what the fuck was the idea of bringing Morales back for at the end of a great episode and then all of a sudden just to have Daryl kill him? I mean, I just don't understand this whole disconnection now between Rick and Daryl when they had such an intense moment during season 5 of when the Claimers came and met Rick's group with Michonne and Carl. I just don't fucking get that. So from now on, guys, this Mother Supreme is sticking to the comics. Hell, I'll throw my money at Kirkman personally, as long as he continues to write the graphic novel. AMC can go fuck themselves for ruining the best show on television with their gimmicks and terrible pleas for ratings. Scott Gimple, I see that you were stuck somewhere in the middle, and for that, buddy, I feel fucking bad for you. So, what did you think about The Walking Dead after the mid-season finale? Are you going to watch the rest of the season? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget that I just don't give a fuck if you liked or hated this video. Subscribe. Bye!